How are you? Good to have you here today. Today we are going to look at the factors that hold people back when they desire to achieve the goal of immigration. So this video is not for the person who has never thought of going to America or Europe. This video is not for the person who is so much comfortable in Kenya and they would not want to change a thing. This video is for the person who has always seen other people's children abroad and he has always asked himself or herself, kwa nini mtoto mmoja wangu hayuko hapo? This is for the person who has always wanted to go abroad and they envy or they admire the people in America or Europe, but yeye mwenyewe bado wako Kenya. This video is for that person, okay? So I'm going to do a comparison of things that I have learned over time by observing. I just like being a student of life. So I'm going to share those things that I have seen by observing so that we can just see what factors are able to, tend to hold people back and see what you can do to change your dynamics. Before we move on, thank you for the returning subscribers. Thank you for those people who have always supported this channel from day one. We enjoy your warmth, we enjoy your company, we enjoy your support, and we are thankful. If this is your first time today, kindly consider subscribing, kindly consider liking the video. We shall appreciate your support, okay? Now, there's something that we know for Kenyans, that the Kisis and the Kalenjins are some of the top two communities which are known for sending their children abroad. This is not in any way profiling any community, and kindly don't get me wrong. I'm not a tribal person. I do not judge people by where they come from, but I always look at, like somehow my brain is anthropological in nature sometimes. I tend to look at people where they come from, the decisions that they make and how it affects them, yeah? The Kalenjins are very good in sending their children, especially to Australia. But if you consider even in the Schengen countries, if you look at their population, noting that they are not the largest community in Kenya, but they've got so many of their children in Australia, in Europe, in Canada, so many of them, yeah? You look at the Kisis are very good in sending their children to the US, huh? And this has increased the socio-economic status significantly, especially in Kisii. You see that the economy of Kisii is vibrant, not just because of the business environment. We know Kisii is very good in business, but also the remittance from abroad has been one of the key economic pillars in the region. In Kalenjin land, there are many parents who have been supported by their children who they sent abroad. If you compare Kalenjins and Kikuyus or Kalenjins and Luyas, you will notice that Kalenjins are far much ahead in terms of socioeconomic status, not because of many other things like business and per se, but because they've sent their children abroad who are able to support the people back home. So I just wanted to compare what happens in Kisii land and what happens in Kalenjin land, and just to see if we can emulate them and to see if it can, the information can be of benefit to somebody else. Huh? So the first thing that holds people back is the belief system. Our belief systems influence who we are. Our belief systems influence our actions, and our belief systems influences our thoughts. You'll notice that among the Kalenjins, they know that almost every family in a ward will have, when you move a ward is a political establishment that is governed by an MCA. You'll only count 5 homes and the next home there is a child in Australia. You count another 6 homes and there is another one in Canada. Their belief system from when they are small is that for the parents, they will send one of their child abroad. So you will discover that they start earning money and they start saving from small to save money to take their child abroad, which is different from like what you do in Kikuyu land. In Kikuyu land, we believe so much in buying land and so much in buying plots, yeah? So that when a parent is earning money, the goal sometimes is to accumulate land, to buy a plot here, to buy another one here and another one there, yeah? And sometimes the end goal is maybe they will sell at some time when the price changes or there's an appreciation of value. But for the person in Kalenjin land, they are saving money for whatever reason, because they know my daughter is finishing university, and when she finishes university, she needs to go abroad. So yeah, that child is under joint admission board, is getting the higher education loans board, but they know they finish and they go straight to Australia. It is our belief systems that informs our action. And just to give you a story that we experience of belief systems, in the month of April, there is a 22-year-old lady who came to our office. She needed guidance on how to move to Europe. And so we are here asking a question here and a question there just to understand our customer. And we discovered our girl is working as a nanny here in Nairobi. So in terms of socio-economic status, she is at the bottom of the pyramid, but she believes in her head that she can go to Europe. That girl is a Kisii. Okay? I have never seen a Kikuyu, I've never seen a Kamba, or even a Luya house help or someone who is a nanny coming for guidance on how to move to Europe. But I have seen them come to ask about going to the Gulf. So what the belief system is in this lady, she's 22 years, is that she can afford, or even if it's beyond her reach, in her mind, the way that those neurons are interconnected, she believes that she can move abroad. And she believes it's the end goal, yeah? So our belief system inform our decisions, our belief systems informs our thoughts, and our belief systems informs what is possible for me. So when a Kalenjin is asked what is possible for your children after they finish their first degree, a Kalenjin parent is saying, my son, my daughter will go to Australia, will go to Europe. When a Kisii parent is asked, what is possible for your child after they come out of Moi University or Rongo University or wherever they are saying, I'm going to take that child abroad. And I'm talking of a very normal family. I'm not talking about the rich. I'm not talking about the up people in the tire. I'm talking of normal income households. Yeah. When a Kalenjin student is asked when they are high school, what is the next thing for them? Even if their parents are not so rich, they are telling you the next destination for me is to go abroad. But when you ask a Kikuyu that same question, the average Kikuyu, the next thing for them is to start a business, will be to buy a plot. It's not a problem, because our priorities our priorities determines our actions and how we spend our money. Yeah? So if you are a person who has always wanted to go abroad, you may need to change your belief systems so that this can inform your actions, your saving habits, and the people you talk to, and even the materials you interact with online. Yeah? Believe that you can go to Europe. Believe that you can go to America. Believe that it is possible for you. Okay? The next thing that influences or holds people back is lack of social support. Yeah? And when I mean by lack of social support, like I've told you about Kisii. Yeah? So we went to Kisii to market our study abroad services, and we discovered that in Kisii land, we have the people who are rich and able in the community, and they have a business, because that is a business where they support students who want to go to study abroad by giving them money for proof of funds, and then they have agreements that they sign. Yeah? All they need to know is that you are known in the community, and then there are structures as to how they work. You know, that is social support. Because now when you are in Kisii and you want to go abroad, you're able to ask who is doing this and this, and they can support you. Yeah? Like you come to my community, my own Kikuyu land, for you to get somebody to give you a bank statement, or maybe to release resources to your bank account to show that they will support you, that person must be in your family, maybe your uncle, if not your parent, or somebody who you knew before at a personal level. Okay? That is different from what I'm talking about in Kisii land. Huh? You go to like Kalenjin land, by social support I mean Kalenjins will do harambees to send their children abroad. And it is not something that they shy away from, and people come, not the same way like Kikuyus will support someone when they are sick and they need to go to India for Canada, not to India, they need to go to India for treatment. Kalenjins will hold fundraisings after church to support their children to go abroad. And it is the poor and the rich and the middle class coming together to support family B. because after that 3 months later there will be another fundraising for a child from this other family. Yeah, and that's the kind of social support that I'm talking about. Yeah, so when a community has got a lot of social support, they are able to inspire, and they are able to push those who want the desire to go abroad, and that is a dream that becomes achievable soon. Yeah. Now the other factors that make people hold people back or hinder their movement is the lack of accessibility to services. What do I mean? Like I'm going back to my case study of Kalenjin land and Kisii land. In Kalenjin land, you will find a study abroad agency almost in every town. Like you go to the small towns like Iten, my friends, there is a study abroad agency for people from Iten who wants to go abroad. In Kericho, in Kipkerion, you know, all these places, you will find study abroad agencies that are supporting students to go abroad. You go to Kisii, in Kisii town there are so many, agencies for study abroad. And you go to Nyamira, you'll find so many agencies for study abroad. You know, the more you have agents, meaning that you have those services for people to work with you and to guide you. Yeah. Like you come to the towns in Mount Kenya, and I'm using Mount Kenya because I know Mount Kenya very well. Like in Thika there are only 2 agencies for study abroad. In Nyeri, there's only 1 or 2. No, there are only 2. But at towns like Nyahururu, which is a very big town, it doesn't have any study abroad agency. There are many other towns that are big, they are vibrant, there is a lot of money changing hands in Mount Kenya, but you don't have any study abroad agencies. Meaning that the penetration of the services is not as high as you would compare in other towns in Kisii and Kalenjin land. Yeah? If you go to Western Province, like at a whole town like Kakamega, we just got a study abroad agency last year. Yeah? Just last year, a whole town like Kakamega. Yeah? You go to other towns in Western, like Busia, there's no study abroad agency in Busia town, not unless there is one that came recently and I'm not aware. Yeah? So when you do not have a lot of penetration in terms of these agents, the community does not tend to benefit more. So one of the things that can hold people back is lack of that support or that of those services. But you know, guys, what we now have the internet. Yeah, all the information that you need is at, you know, is at the hold of your phone. So you can use the internet to get all the information that you need to connect with the agency that you need to connect with. And if you consider us, we shall appreciate to serve you. But having someone to work with will make it easier for you to achieve that goal. Okay. And then the other thing that holds people back is not working smart. What I mean by not working smart is, you know, maybe you want to go to UK, but you do not have the tuition fee that is required for UK universities. Yeah. So instead of, you know, just drawing up your dreams, you can go to another stepping stone, a country that you can use as a stepping stone, especially the ones in Schengen area, and then you go and work in UK. Because if you study in this, let's say, Zurich University in Switzerland, you can easily get a job in UK compared to if you're presenting your more university papers. So working smart in this case will mean that I have 1 million. I do not have the 3 million that I need to study in UK, but I have only 1 million. Go to a country in the Schengen area, go and study in Europe, and then maybe go to Canada and work, because it will be easier for you to move from Europe to Canada than to move from Kenya to Canada. That is what I call working smart. Yeah? Working smart means that you know you want to study abroad, and you do not have all the time to do these applications because your job 8 to 5 is demanding. And after you finish your 8 to 5, you're going to a family that is waiting for you, and the commitments, meaning you will have a challenge with following up your commitments and the things you need to do for this study abroad. Why not work with an agency? They just handle everything for you and you achieve that goal. The fee that you're going to pay the agency is going to be very small compared to the price that you would have paid for not achieving that goal. Yeah? It's called opportunity cost. So working smart will mean that you work with an agency. You go to a country that you can afford, yeah, and you connect with an agency that can work with you to see it is done to the end, yeah. And then there is also now the case of procrastination. This is something that holds you back. So you've called, let's go abroad, you've called the agency that you want to work with, and then you tell them, I'm going to think about it, which is very good. You cannot just make decisions when you've not thought about it, but you think about it for 6 months. That is procrastination, not taking action. And there are some people who will apply to a university and then they don't get feedback, but they don't send an email to follow up. They keep saying, I'll do it, I'll do it. That is procrastination. That is self-sabotage. Yeah? The agency calls you, we need this document, we're doing ABCD. You keep procrastinating and you already applied for the university. 4 months down the line, you've not applied for visa because there are things that you should have sent and you are not sending. That is procrastination and it holds people back. Other times you say because immigration is taxing, it takes a lot of energy, it drains people. You say next year I'm going to move. My new year goal is to relocate from this country. And I'm telling you, we'll receive a lot of calls in January. But then you don't do anything after that, That is procrastination, it is holding yourself back, yeah? And then the other thing that holds people back is listening to naysayers. What do I say by listening to naysayers? You go and we advise you to study in Hungary because of the money that you have, and you have maybe 800,000, and we look at the budgets, we look at the universities, and we tell you there are good opportunities for you to study in Hungary. Yeah? Then you go online and you ask how about Hungary as a study destination, and people come with all their sort of things. I cannot waste my time and energy going to Hungary. That is a waste of money. Maybe I should even go to Uganda. Blah 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 blah. And the person who is discouraging you is a person who doesn't have even 10% of the money that you have. Is a person who knows they will never step in Europe. Now you are listening. Have you ever had a case of someone who does not have a bicycle, someone who is even having a challenge affording bus fare, but is telling others they cannot drive a Vitz? You've ever seen that? Yeah, that is exactly what I mean. Where you are listening to people who are so negative and they don't know what they are doing, yeah? So you should not listen to naysayers. You should listen to that inner voice. Your spirit will always advise you, yeah? So sometimes maybe we need to go and we are dealing with someone with the Czech Republic, yeah? And someone who told them that that's a country that is not even known, and they were telling them that even the locals leave that country to go and work in foreign countries. It happens all the time. We are Kenyans and we have expatriates from America who have come to work in our country. Labor mobility is something that you cannot stop in this time and age, yeah? So you should not listen to naysayers. Listen to the inner voice that is talking to you, yeah? So I hope you'll be able to overcome any personal factor that is holding you from immigrating. And as usual, if you need support and you need the university applications, if you need to do some consultancy, and if you need support with visas, we are here to serve you and to walk the journey with you until your dreams are realized. Thank you and bye.